based on my experiences in collecting data and interacting, is every place that has the word excellence or innovation or sustainability in it is a scam. And now I have even more evidence of people that use the word peace in the name of whatever organization, because they're incongruent. They don't walk the talk. There's a poster there that says Smithers Citizens on Patrol. I don't know if it really is in existence, but I haven't seen any evidence of it. Yeah, so I want to say that I'm sad being about to leave. And sometimes the feeling when I leave a place, because I don't want to sell my humanity away, it's my humanity that makes me leave. I don't want to compromise. Usually the feeling is anger from the triggers, the disrespect, the shunning, the discrimination, the human rights violations, the stigma. The norm getting together, even though they know they're not right, but they feel powerful by getting together about not being right. That makes me angry because, they keep having kids, people, and that are like that, and therefore their kids' lives are going to be even worse than mine. I have a lot of skill sets. I can handle people like that. But now I'm sad, and I'm wondering if it's in part because it hasn't been that bad here. I mean, there are people who know they've made it bad for me. They've written stuff on Facebook groups, right? They know who they are, but it's still not enough. I can handle that stuff. But maybe what makes it sad now is when the evidence is conclusive, is I'm at the point of my humanity where there isn't even one thought that passes through my head that hopes for the hopeless, and that thinks, things like, oh, if only I could be like them, not an Homo sapien, but the Homo communia that suffer from HsD and can't self-correct and are the cause of the Anthropocene. And again, I have to repeat, the Anthropocene is a flaw with our species' thinking and therefore behaving over an extended period of time, where a lot of people today see it in the effects, not as much of the failings of their proto-societies, and it's all interconnected, but they see the Anthropocene only in the effects on the natural world. Like there's been a lot of hypocrisy about, and they haven't said yet, and it shouldn't take that long actually, they haven't said yet the cause of the death of that person at the Burning Man festival. And only so far I've only noticed Democracy Now! As one of the news channel that reported on both, the tribal ranger hitting the barrier and hurting a person, but also doing it with excessive violence with non-violent people and threatening with a gun, and we don't know yet what kind of reprimand they would get, because really people that own news channels, they kind of also own industry, and therefore want to show images of violence against people that defend Earth, that defend life, that defend the future generations of all the kids. But Democracy Now! They actually made the link between, that's the same Burning Man, people that are stuck there, and they're selling an image, that they were great, they're all community, and the behaviors are all great there. And I'd be surprised if really it was. There's limited footage that I've seen of what happens there and what's been happening there. But, the fact that protesters of things such as what's causing the acceleration of the climate's destabilization because of our species up here, remember? Because it's not the Earth that's broken. It's our species that's broken. Yeah, for the first time, I've looked a few times, but today was the first time that I bugwooded a coffee, and I tell you, I can't afford that kind of disappointment. And would it have been better if I paid $1 for extra chocolate? Like, first of all, how is it $1 for extra chocolate? What kind of quality chocolate do you put in something that small? This is $1 more. Come on. Anyways, it makes me sad to leave because, I'd like to set roots somewhere. I'm honest about this. I only leave because I'm human, and I don't want to compromise that anymore, and I don't even have thoughts anymore of measuring, okay, what if this compromise, and then I can maybe survive the winter in the same place and make connections and prove myself here. But I would only be able to prove myself to the point that people want to use me for my services, not in what they need and not in the totality of the whole of who I am. That makes me sad knowing this, and I don't even need to do the calculations of what compromises can I do in order to maintain some of my humanity. So I read the book 1984 in graphic novel form, and a cute little girl came to talk to me today. She's bilingual French at the coffee shop here. And this is what made my day for coming here is the mom seemed like she wasn't very fast to catch up to her and hesitates about how to interact with her because at that age she already seems very assertive, very much the boss, and very much could get herself hit by a car if the parents aren't better with boundaries and going after and saying no when it's the right time to say no and being firm with it, that you don't have to try to do it when they're 13, try to do it when they're 23. This is the time to do it, and if it's done well, it is not hard. It is just requiring patience and persistence and teamwork. And then it serves the child really well for their safety, but also for not destroying their assertiveness, which is awesome. But to learn, how to fine-tune those things in a way that serves them well. Now that's effort. It's work. And parents have to realize that's what it is. Even with a child that is normal, it is work. Parents don't realize this. Anyways, I'm reading 1984. I know I'm watching a movie finally that's late at the library. Or it's been renewed too many times. And right at the beginning, I'm wanting to cry again. And you know what's weird is the one thing that I find appealing in that movie is there are two characters that find themselves. They're pretty screwed up in the head because they live in a society that's totally screwed up in the head. But the thing is they're not as screwed up in the head, and they're so abnormal in that way. And that, and even though their love lasted for a short time and ended with a lot of additional trauma and torture and pain, is for me, I still want that. So I'm thinking if I go to the Smithers karaoke at the end of the week, if I'm still around, I think I want to sing a whole bunch of songs on broken hearts, like broken relationships, like love ending, because I freaking miss trying to remember the feeling of a broken heart. It's been that long since I had even the possibility of having a broken heart from being with somebody that's like-minded and like-behaved. And that's what's hard, just starting to watch that movie, which is the same story as the graphic novel, where I was focusing on understanding the story. But now I'm just realizing I just wish I could meet somebody like that, even though it'll end horribly.